What is up everyone, ExpressMe64 here, back at it again, and it has been some time. Sorry about that, I've been a bit busy this year, however I hope I won't take such a big break for a while. At least, can't make any promises. I got some more ideas planned to close out this year and hopefully y'all will stick around to see that. But for now, I want to showcase something that I've been working on in my time off. A little side project that I didn't really make any announcement for or anything in my time off, just kind of something I wanted to keep low-key. You see, I met a new friend, and I would like to introduce this friend to all of you watching. To all of you, this is Lyra. Now, if you've been on the channel for a minute, you might have heard of something called the Azelea Railway. This is my own personal railway I created, which features engines such as Samson, Molly, and even my OC Ulysses. When I made that initial video, I mentioned another engine that had yet to make her appearance. That engine, of course, is Lyra. So let's start with some background. Lyra is based off of the Class 52 diesel that we see in Bluebells of England. When Stepney passes through on his way to the mainland, he passes through a group of diesels including a maroon Class 52. I've always been fascinated by this engine since they looked sad. Almost as if the fact that Stepney passing through was a big deal. Of course, at this point in the story, the world was overrun with diesels, with many steamies fearing for their lives. But just for that reason alone, I started to obsess over this engine. Who are they? Where are they from? And why were they sad? Now, Lyra here is made from a talking diesel tank I got off of eBay. The claw was already broken off, and all I had to do was sand down the part of the roof that holds the claw in place. This wasn't an issue as I had the perfect tool for it. Surprisingly very effective, but kids don't try this at home. Once that was out of the way, I went ahead and started painting, but one issue, I only had red. No problem, one order later, and I had maroon, and why is that pink? Turns out when you order a pack of paint pens, you don't get the colors you need. No problem, I'm sure if I ordered the 36 pack, there's no way it messes up, right? Right? None of these are maroon. Screw it. Ended up buying 3 different types of maroon paint, asked multiple people their takes on which one the best one was, and ended up using the one called maroon. Glad that's settled. I also decided on making the front yellow since many Class 52s actually had a yellow front. Now I'm sure you have some questions, like why Lyra? Well, when I first came up with her, I immediately wanted to make her a female because why not? I also picked the name since it's the female protag's name in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which just so happens to be the best video game ever created. I will fight you on that. The tricky part in all this was the face. I knew from the start it wasn't going to be red. I don't care if it's accurate, it's ugly. I originally was going to get a smiling Diesel 10 and use that face and just kind of paint on the eyelashes we saw a lot of the characters have in the Big World Big Adventures era, but that felt like a cop-out and finding one of those Diesel 10s wasn't worth the hassle. I then decided to use the face from a Capsule Elizabeth, not realizing how tiny it was going to be. Ultimately, I ended up getting a spare take-along Elizabeth, and as soon as it arrived, I ripped her face straight off, with a screwdriver in fact. I ended up causing some damage to it, but that's just kind of builds some character for her. The next step was putting it on, which again was a challenge. When I took off the OG face, it left holes where the face connected to the body, and Elizabeth's face was way too small to cover all that up. I was recommended this product called Green Stuff, which I was very appreciative of. This delayed the custom just a bit longer since I had to wait to receive it, and then once applied I had to wait for it to sand down and dry, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Now we know what she looks like, but what is her personality like? Well, her original personality was actually what I gave Molly in that original Azelea Railway video, where she was a ploy to whatever Ulysses was cooking up. However, since Lyra took forever to cook, Molly took on that role. I mentioned this in the last video, but I based Molly and Ulysses' dynamic off of 2 characters in an anime I like. I'm not revealing it until someone guesses it right, but your hint this time is both these characters sing and were successful in saving a certain operation from closing. I know many Thomas fans have seen this series and once someone guesses it right, I'll post the answer on the community tab. Since Lyra got her old personality stolen, I think it's up to me to tell you her actual one. Lyra, although being one of the biggest engines on the Azelea Fleet, has a childlike energy to her. One shining aspect of this is her uninterrupted belief in Santa Claus, who is real, obviously. She can often be seen as a loner, and she tends to like to work alone. But in her time with the Azelea Fleet, she has now considered them her family. She also has an interest in the occult and other spooky things, which Ulysses hates. She can act a bit stubborn or even arrogant. With all this, she can feel like a walking contradiction since she feels small despite her size. I hope you all have enjoyed meeting Lyra, and hopefully this won't be the last time y'all see her. The main reason I've been lagging on making Azelea Railway content was because I was missing a member of the fleet, but now the gang's all here. I won't make any promises, but hopefully one day you will all see them in action. Well, that's all the time I have today. Till we meet again, I have been ExpressBean64.